Hey guys, it's Latoya Hart, and I want to thank you for joining me today. If you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate having you here. If you are returning, thank you for joining me again. Today we are going to talk about happiness. I receive a ton of messages frequently about how do you um, become happy. Like, what do you have to do to achieve happiness? The one thing that I want to tell you is happiness isn't something that you really achieve. It's something that you get up and you work towards every single day of your life. It's not a destination, like once you get there that you're going to be there forever. It's something that you have to work on, and it can be very challenging at times, and it can be extremely challenging if you grew up in a household similar to myself where happiness was something that wasn't a number one priority, and no one really learned or knew how to really achieve happiness. The reason for this is when you experience trauma, when you experience loss, when you experience very trying times in your life, it can impact your ability to not only move forward, but be happy both in the present and in the future. And when you have children, if you haven't learned to achieve and sustain your own happiness, when you have children, it trickles down into their lives as well, and ultimately it can become a generational curse until someone does the work to break it. Happiness a lot of times is associated with material things like houses, cars, promotions, those kind of things. But although those things do excite you and they do make you feel good, the joy that those things do bring will be very short-lived, because they can't be sustained long term, because that isn't true happiness. It's just an emotion that you feel for the moment because you accomplished something, but it isn't going to contribute to you being able to build and sustain long-term happiness. Happiness comes from being at peace and being free. To be at peace and to be free, you must have a relationship with God. You must know that your outcomes and your past and your future aren't tied to you or anything that you may do, but all of your blessings come from the source, and that source is God. And although we can't bypass and we can't avoid trials and tribulations in our life, what we can do is when those things do come up, we can rely upon God to carry those burdens for us so that we can be free to do the things necessary for us to maintain our peace and to continue to be happy. Your relationship with God should be equivalent to the relationship that you had with your parents. Think back to when you were a young child, and even in your teens and 20s, when something went on, you didn't a lot of times carry that burden. You carried those burdens to your parents and you left them there to figure them out. Your relationship with God should be exactly the same. It should be identical. When there are trials, tribulations, things that are weighing on you heavy, you must take those things to God and leave them there, and not think about them and not continue to carry them. You must leave them there and continue to move forward in your day-to-day activities and routines. There's 4 things that will contribute to you being happy in your life. There's 4 things that you can focus on. The number one thing is you can focus on your health. You can also focus on your faith, which is building and growing in your relationship with God. You can first focus on personal growth. That could be growing a business, that could be going to school, that could be whatever it is that you consider to be moving you forward and allowing you to become a better person. And number 4, focusing on self-love. It's so easy to love someone else, so easy, but a lot of times self-love is a very challenging thing to do because it seems selfish, right? But self-love is entering in a relationship and loving yourself the same way that you would love one of your really great friends, being kind to yourself, expressing like treating yourself well, spending time with yourself. All the things that you would do to your very close friend and for your very close friend are the very same things that you should do for yourself. And that's how you have a great relationship with yourself, and that is showing yourself a little bit of self-love. And that will ultimately contribute to your happiness. So I want you to know that happiness isn't something that is achieved very easily, because things come up in life. Life can be challenging at times, but it's something that you must get up and work towards every single day of your life. Because if you don't have happiness, if you don't have joy, if you don't have peace, if you don't have freedom, what do you really have? Not very much. I am Latoya Hart. If there are any questions that I can answer for you, or if this message has been of value to you, please share it with someone else. If there are any questions that I can answer for you, please send me a message. I would love to catch up and chat with you. I will be back next week for more on happiness or another topic. We'll see. But if you have any questions in the meantime, send me a message. I'll chat with you later.